Chisadich.
Huh?
That's an Italian greeting, folks. It means hello, ba ba ba, how are you, que paso, you know. This is Italian American Wrestlers You Should Know, sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling. And we're talking about today Mike Rotunda. You guys know him today as the father of Bray Wyatt, or Wyndham Rotunda, or possibly Bo Dallas. But what you don't know, and I'm going to put all that stuff in the description. I'm going to go ahead and put the WWE link on Mike. I'm also going to put his Wikipedia on Mike, so hopefully you guys will be apt to go there. If for no other reason, if you're not interested in that era of wrestling or whatever, you should be interested in the era of a guy like Bray Wyatt's father, man. How did Bray end up so talented? How did Bray end up so creative? You know, and a lot of that has to do with nurture, nature versus nurture. I'm a big proprietor of nurture, and in my opinion, you know, that right there is a fact. It's a proof positive, you know. Why did Mike Rotunda encourage his boys to get into the wrestling industry, to make their mark and to make their money, when others did not? Was there nepotism involved with Bray and Bo? Hell to the no. But here's what you don't know about Mike Rotunda. Or maybe you do know, but maybe you don't stop and think about it much. And once again, all the greats say, to be great, you must study the greats. This is a study of Mike Rotunda, the wrestler, the performer. I want you to think about something. Mike Rotunda was a young guy at the birth of Hulkamania, of WrestleMania, okay? How long ago was that? You know, and why? And the other thing is versatility and open-mindedness. How many different personas did Mike have? And Mike must have gotten them over. And if they didn't get over, WCW and World Wrestling Federation did not fire Mike. Why? Because he was just that fucking good. That's why. That guy looked at wrestling as a business, and he made an outstanding living for himself, and he ended up being able to pass on all that knowledge, attitude, and politics to his sons. You know, my heart goes out to him. You know, nobody should lose their kids before they die. They should not outlive their children, and that's horrible. The other reason is this, and this is something that you guys don't quite get today because you're not really exposed to it, but my path crossed with Mike. Our paths crossed briefly a handful of times, but I can't remember the who, what, when, where, or why of it. But somehow, when I was in charge of bringing in extras to the Midwest for WWE, the second Irwin R. Schyster run, which was an outstanding gimmick, by the way. It was heat, you know. And he played that shit to a T. We found out the kinship between us. And the kinship was somehow tied into the guys that raised me and bred me and took me under their wing in this business in the South. They crossed paths with the Wyndham family. And, you know, Mike was basically extended family in-law of the Wyndhams. And the Wyndhams were pro wrestling. You know what I mean? And we bonded a handful of times. And then I can't remember which shot it was, but Mike was on the road. He was working his ass off. In one way, shape, or form, at one of the tapings, his wife and his two boys were able to come to that taping, you know. And what I thought was fucking outstanding was the pride that Mike Rotunda had in his family and his children, you know. Because we had a certain bond and I garnered a certain respect, Mike would not let them leave without introducing me to them. And I just thought that was outstanding, and it warmed the heart because guys were so busy up there, guys were so stressed out up there that they didn't have time to think about stuff like that. And that's always said in my memory. And that's what you don't know about Mike. What an outstanding family man, you know. And in closing, you'll see, I'm going to put those descriptions, those links in the description. And I want you to look up on it. Because if you want to make a decent living at pro wrestling, be that good like Mike. He could work with anyone. He could do anything in that ring. And he was by no uncertain terms a jobber, you know. The guy made his living in pro wrestling for probably 30 years. Why? Why don't you guys ever ask yourselves why? He had no bad habits. You know what I mean? He worked hard. He did what was asked of him, and he did it well. You know what I mean? So anyway, once again, we missed Italian American Heritage Month last month because it's been so downplayed by Hispanic Heritage Month. So we're covering everybody. We're covering Italian American wrestlers of note. And I'm going to go ahead and say commemorating and honoring because Mike Rotundo, unbelievable attributes and unbelievable gifts that he gave to pro wrestling. And that includes his sons, his legacy, guys. In the description as well, you'll see how to support Premier Pro Wrestling, specifically Premier Pro Wrestling tees. You got to see that we kick ass till we smell shit shirt. That's a pretty damn cool shirt, no matter whose company is on there. But also, PPW Live, subscribe to our video on demand or our subscription service because you're going to see a lot of really cool concept matches in this day and age. They're not easy to come by. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this.